Well, just when you think the Giants' 53-man roster was over and done with, the Giants come up with a big surprise Thursday night. They cut Blake Martinez. The way I described this in the New York Post is it was a surprise, but not a shock. You could really see the handwriting on the wall with Blake Martinez a little bit. Now that I think he was going to be cut, 10 days before the season, no, I did not. But there's a few things to look at with Blake Martinez. First of all, this is a new coaching regime, right? He made the defensive calls from Patrick Graham, the former defensive coordinator. He had the green dot on his helmet. He was an invaluable player 2 years ago, had over 150 tackles. Then he hurts his knee and only plays in 3 games last year. There's a whole new coaching regime that comes in. They look at Blake Martinez and say, we want you on the team. We're going to have to take a massive pay cut to have you to cut your salary cap number. It was all the way down to about $1.25 million. This is a guy who signed a 3-year, $30 million contract 2 years ago. So Blake, certainly that was a tough thing for a veteran to swallow. Then he comes in, he doesn't play in the first preseason game, gets in the last 2, looks okay on the field, but you can tell he is not a big part of this defense. Blake Martindale is the new defensive coordinator. He runs a completely different system than the one they had before this. Didn't seem to value what Blake Martinez brought. It's a pressure-filled inside linebacker role. That's not really Blake's forte. So I think Blake Martinez saw the handwriting on the wall that I'm not going to get a lot of snaps here. And then just recently this week, the players voted 10 team captains. Blake Martinez was not one of them. He was a team captain the last 2 years. So the vibe was not great, but still, he was not a lot of money. Was this a salary cap cut? No, it was not. The Giants signed an offensive lineman, Tyre Phillips, to take his spot. They were awarded him off waivers from the Ravens. He's going to make about $900,000. Blake was at $1.2 million. Do the math. This was not a salary cap cut. It really was kind of the handwriting on the wall for both sides. Blake was not really happy. The Giants really didn't see him as a necessity. Now, what do they do with inside linebacker? It's not a position of great depth. They have Tate Crowder, last year's leading tackler. He's going to have to be a big man in this defense. Austin Calitro, a guy who'd been on about 8 different practice squads, had a big final preseason game, made the team with the last cuts, was cut, then brought back. He's going to have to be a factor. Carter Coughlin, who had been an outside linebacker, he's really mostly been a special teams player. And they have a rookie, Micah McFadden from Indiana. So shocking to the fans, I would say surprising for me, but I did not expect it. But Blake Martinez is now a former New York Giant.